What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to discuss how sensitive men can cultivate masculine strength. Before we dive too deep into that, I want to share a quote with you. This quote is from the Complete Book of Yoga by, I really hope I say the man's name right, Swami Vivekananda. And it goes, "Highest men are calm, silent, and unknown. They are the men that know the power of thought." Now, when I've read that, the quote really hit me because it really aligns with the theme of this video. Because in order for a sensitive man to cultivate masculine strength, he must harness and discipline his mind. He must harness the power of and then discipline the mind. Now, in order for that to make even more sense, we have to take one step back and recognize this, that you, me, we are not our minds, and we are not our bodies. You are not the emotions you're feeling, the thoughts streaming by in your mind, or the physical sensations occurring in your body. You are the consciousness that is filling this body, your body, with life force energy, giving you the ability to walk around and move and do all the things, go to work, hang out with your partners, chill with your friends, do all the things that you do in your everyday life. You are the consciousness that is giving your body life force energy, allowing you to do all the things that you do. You are not the doer. You are the one, the consciousness behind it all. Now, the reason I share that is because if you are a sensitive man who struggles with this, struggles with your own masculinity, then you're likely caught up in intellectualizing your problems. Right? If we take a step back from it and think about the brain is a survival tool. This damn thing is amazing at problem solving. It is amazing for so many things, but in our education system, we're not taught how to use our brain and harness the power of the mental faculties of the mind. So then we, in turn, become controlled by it. Right? So, in order for us to grab a hold of this, we have to learn to harness and discipline the power of the mind. And through that, we can cultivate our own masculine strength. Because what the mind is doing is the mind is interpreting all the sensations of the body throughout the day. And it is being funneled through the filter of your neurological hardware. Your subconscious programming from school, education, your parents, whatever it is. Okay? And so if you're trapped in these, you feel trapped, let me rephrase. You feel trapped in these patterns of anxiety, overthinking, of intellectualizing your problems, then the first step is getting out of your head and into your body. Right, because like I said, the mind is interpreting the sensations of the body throughout the day. And if you're overly identified with these sensations, because let's face it, like as sensitive, empathetic men, we have a natural inclination to lean in towards the feminine side of things a little bit more, which means leaning into and identifying with the sensations of the body. And if your mind is focused on the sensations of the body and seeing them all as problems, then again, coming back to my point, the brain is a problem-solving machine. The mind is the brain in action. And if we are overly identified with the sensations of the body, identifying those as problems, then the mind is going to be like, how do I figure out how to solve these problems? How do I fix these? So now our intellect is trying to solve the problems when it's just like, this is a part of life. You got back pain, like my back's actually feeling a little tight right now. I'm feeling a little parched. I'm a little hungry. Like all these sensations that are happening throughout the body. Right? If we're overly identified with those, our mind is recognizing them as problems, and now we have to fix them. So we have to get out of that pattern and break those feedback loops and take a step out by getting out of our heads and getting into our body. So if you're not training, if you're not doing something to challenge your body, physically challenge the limitations of your body, then you're going to remain stuck and trapped. Again, feel trapped. Let me rephrase. You're going to feel trapped. You're going to feel stuck and trapped inside of the labyrinth of your mind, the anxious patterns of your mind, the overthinking of your mind, the intellectualizing of your mind. We need to do things to challenge our bodies. And I don't mean just go for a walk. You should walk too, but like, I mean, really fucking challenge yourself. Like, what are you made of? Because when we start to do that, what happens is, from like a biological, chemical level, like we start to flood our body with those endorphins, those natural painkillers. And so now our body is getting all these feel-good hormones into it, and we can actually like mentally think more clearly. Because we're not being flooded with stress hormones all day. When we're overly identified with the body, our mind is trying to fix all the problems of the body. All the stress hormones are being flooded. All the energy is coming to our brain. When we can be funneling and channeling that energy into different things, like challenging ourselves with physical exercise, with movement. Right, so you got to get out of your head and step into your body. Okay, so now once we start doing that, we start to get healthier bodies. We can start to see that like being a man isn't just who we think we are. Right? If your body's in pain, if you do not honor the needs of your body, by honor the needs of your body, I mean nourish your body through movement, nourish your body through quality nutrition, hydration, quality sleep. I mean, give your body what it genuinely needs to thrive. I'm not talking about giving your body what it is impulsively asking for. Like, I want to eat shitty food. I want McDonald's and Burger King. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about genuine nourishment. Okay, once we start to genuinely nourish our body, then we can come back to the mind. Because the mind isn't focused on an unhealthy body anymore. Because like let's think about this for a moment. Let's take a step back and think about this. If you're in pain, in a lot of pain, like you got back pain, joint pain, knee pain, like whatever it is, because I've dealt with literally all of them, it's not fun. My mind was only focused on them, and at times it still does. Because I still have a weird knee thing today, my hip is still really tight. So there are times where my mind becomes focused on these things. Because our mind is perceiving that as a threat. Threat, in this case, I mean a problem. So we have to start to get our bodies in a healthier state. Nourishment. Genuine, true nourishment. Not impulsive, addictive behaviors. Genuine, true nourishment. Once we get out of that, we can start to hear our thoughts more clearly. It's not chaos in here because our mind isn't hyper-focused on the body and all of its sensations. Now, what we can start to do is we can start to acknowledge and befriend the egoic wounds within us, the wounded ego. Right? Because all of these patterns of anxiety and overthinking and us intellectualizing is us running from the deeper intrinsic wounds inside of us. And those deeper intrinsic wounds inside of us are manifesting themselves as physical sensations and physical ailments. When I say that, I do not mean that like your back pain, your knee pain, your joint pain isn't real. I don't mean any chronic illness that you're dealing with, like diabetes or anything like that. I'm not saying it's not real. What I'm saying is those manifestations are a byproduct of emotional wounds that have never been healed, never been processed. And so now, once our bodies start to get a little bit healthier and we get out of the patterns of the mind trying to fix the body, what we can do is we can start to hear our minds more clearly, and we can start to heal and gain a healthier structure within the mind. How we do that is by acknowledging the wounded ego, acknowledging the wounds of our inner children, acknowledging the emotional trauma that was never healed. the unmet needs of the little boy within you. And the work there is, because what we just talked about is, we're talking about working on the physical part of our being. Now we're talking about working on the mental, psychological, emotional part of our being. And yes, all of this does tie into your masculine strength. Because in order to be fully embodied in your masculine strength, you need a healthy, structured, organized mind. You need a healthy, capable, durable body. So, when we start to acknowledge all of our egoic patterns of protection, start to acknowledge and notice all of our emotional trauma that hasn't been healed. Childhood trauma, unmet emotional needs from the boy within. We can start to honor those wounds. We can start to honor those parts of ourselves. And we can now, with a healthy body, with a healthy mind, we can start to channel and funnel that negative energy into the man that we want to become. And this is where you really start to embody your masculine strength. Because the masculine energies in the world are leadership. It's courage. It's taking decisive, inspired action. And we can only do that with a healthy body and a clear mind. And in order to do that, we have to honor each part of the human experience. In our society, it's not always encouraged for men to be emotional. And listen, every man needs to decide how outwardly expressive they want to be with their emotions. But you can, at the same time, even if you don't want to be that outwardly expressive with them, you can still honor them. And the more we start to honor the unmet emotional needs of the boy within, we integrate that into our being. And our pathway forward becomes so fucking crystal clear. Because masculinity is a list of qualities. It is not a male with testicles and a penis. Masculinity is is qualities of a specific type of person. A woman can be masculine. She can have masculine qualities, decisiveness, leadership, action-oriented, right? Like courage, bravery, honor, integrity. These are masculine qualities. Both men and women alike can have these things. In order for you to embody these qualities and how you define your version of masculine strength, you have to honor the emotional wounds of the boy within you and integrate that into who you are without shame. Because the mind, if the ego is running the show up here, then you may interpret all of this and shame yourself. Those unmet emotional needs, like I need to work harder, I need to achieve more. That is wounded masculine energy. True, genuine, divine, mature masculine energy knows when to listen to his body and when not to. It honors emotional wounds, unmet needs. It doesn't shame them. It doesn't overachieve. True, genuine, divine, mature masculine energy is as much compassionate as it takes decisive action. It is as nurturing as it is disciplined. So, in order for a man, a sensitive man, an empathetic man, to cultivate masculine strength, he must heal his mind. In order to heal his mind, he needs a healthy body. In order to get out of patterns of anxiety, overthinking, overanalysis, intellectualizing, we have to get out of our fucking heads and get into our bodies. Go move your ass and start to challenge the physical limitations of the body that you have. That is 100% going to look different for every single person on this planet. If you ever see any of the videos I've posted in the past, I train like an absolute lunatic. I do not expect any single person that watches this video to want to train like me. Find out what works for you. But challenge the limitations of your body. Because a man who is embodied in his masculine strength has an organized mind and a healthy body. He can think clearly and handle the stressors that life is going to throw at him. His body is durable and strong. Now look at me. I'm not saying that as you have to be able to lift 500 pounds. Because strength isn't measured by a number on a barbell or on a dumbbell. Strength is how you decide you want to define it. And only you can know that. Only you can know that. So, I hope this video has helped you cultivate your own masculine strength by harnessing the power of your mind and disciplining it. If y'all took anything in this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like and a comment on the video. Please subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.